Good afternoon. I hope everybody is doing well today, and we're going to move on to logs today. How exciting. So for the record, this is my favorite part of math. I know you guys probably do not like it, but that's okay. The best thing about logs, and the reason why I like it so much is because you guys already know all the rules. If you know how to deal with exponential functions, you know how to deal with logs. We've already dealt with exponential functions. We know the rules. We know that 3 squared times 3 squared is the same as 3 plus 2. We know that 3 squared divided by 3 to the 1 is the same as saying 3 to the 2 minus 1. We know that 3 squared is the same as 2 times 2. These are all the same rules we're going to use, guys. Nothing is new, so it's absolutely phenomenal to go over it because we've already done it. A few things we got to learn first, though. How do we change from logarithmic to exponential form? Well, since they are sister characters, we can switch back and forth easily. So I start with my log form. If y equals log base b for base, of x, and I want to convert that to, now this is in logarithmic form, and I want to convert it to exponential form. What does this mean? This means that I can easily convert using what I call the circle method. Now, I'm sure a lot of teachers have a lot of ways of doing it. I call it the circle method. All that means is that we go from b up and over. B up and over. That's all you have to remember. So that means that it's b to the y and over. Wasn't that easy? So let's do an example. If I write y equals log 2 of 4, and I want to convert it, it's just up and over, and it gives me a circle. Always starting with your lowest. If you remember to always start with your lowest, there's no way you can mess it up, because from here you can't go this way. There's nothing there. I can only go this way. And from here there's only one number left to go to. And it gives you a nice pretty circle. So I get 2 to the y equals 4. Now that I've converted, then we can go into actually solving for them. But for now, let's just talk about converting. So let's look at an example. Write each equation in the equivalent exponential form. 4 log 2 of x equals log 3 of 9. So I'm going to go ahead and write them down here. 4 equals log base 2 of some number x. And I want to convert up and over. And I get 2 to the 4 equals x. Next, x equals log base 3 of 9. And I want to go up and over, and I get 3 to the x equals 9. Very simple conversions, guys. Don't get lost. Because when you get lost, then it all becomes Greek, and we're not trying to get to that point. So let's do a couple more examples. 5 equals log base 5 of x. 6 equals log base x of 36. And finally, 49 equals log base 2 of x. And now I want to convert. So I want everybody to go ahead and do it. From the bottom point, over and over. Remember, that stopping point is your equal sign. So bottom point, up. See how I go up? Stop. Stop is my equal sign. Over. Bottom up. So bottom up. Well, it's way too up. Don't go up that high. Bottom up. Stopping point is your equal sign and over. And we're done. And now we've converted. Now, how do I convert the other way? What if I'm giving exponential and I want logarithmic? So now I'm going from exponentials to logs. Well, a couple things that we know. We now know that we've done y equals log base b of x. And we know that this is called your base. Base. Now, what else is called your base? Oh yeah, the number at the bottom of the exponent is called your base. Your base in your log is the same as your base in your exponents. Now, your log always equals an exponent. That means that this value here has to be an exponential value. That means that the y has to go here. Which gives me my final. And if I double check it, b to the y is y x. We're good. It was a good check. Using this, I can convert others into logs. So let's look at some examples. B to the 4 equals 16. Okay, I know that B is my base. So I start log base. B, B, we're good. Now, the exponent, once again, is always here. So I write my exponent in, which leaves me with 16. And I can double check it. B to the 4th equals 16. Let's look at the next one. 5 squared equals x. I want you to do the same thing every time. What's my base? My base is 5. What's my exponent? My exponent is 2. And whatever's left goes into that spot. Let's do some more. And 3 squared equals x, and 3 to the 1 equals 3. So I'm going to convert. First, I'm going to look for my base. My base is 6. My exponent is 2, and whatever's left over goes there. My base is 3. My exponent is 2. My base, that was a bad log. Sorry. My base is 3. My exponent is 1. And that's how we convert. Now that we've converted, we can evaluate. And evaluating is a lot simpler than you would think. So let's look at the evaluation. So when we evaluate, first we want to convert. So here's the steps for evaluating logarithmics. How to evaluate. First we want to convert. And we want to convert to exponential form. And then we want to use logic to evaluate. So let's look at an example. Well, let's go with logic and simplification before I move on. So let's look at an example. A, log base 3 of 81. And I'm going to put a little equals some value that I do not know called x. Now, I'm going to go from bottom up, so 3 to some number, and over, equals 81. Now, 3 to what value equals 81? Well, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So I know that 3 to the 4th equals 81. So x equals 4. Another way to evaluate it is to have 3 to the x equals 81, knowing that 81 is actually 3 to the 4th. If my bases are the same, that means that x must equal 4. Let's look at the next one. Up and over. 36 to some number has to equal 6. Well, the square root of 36 is 6, and we know that the equivalent of a square root is 1/2. So I know that x equals 1/2. And finally, 5 to the x equals 1. Well, as we said before, the only things that can equal 1 is when we do 5 to the 0. That means that x must be 0. Now, I want you guys to go ahead and look at your worksheets. I definitely need you guys to practice converting from log to exponents and from exponents to logs, and then kind of work on evaluating. And we'll continue to work on this on Monday. Don't forget that your homework is due Monday. It's your worksheet. It's on your WAGs. Please check everything and have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday.